Welcome. It's Wakey time. I've had a tough week, and I'm going to tell you about it. It's story time. This is Tales of Transformation. God. So, I started working on a couple videos, and I'm doing research and taking notes and preparing them. I don't know how long it's going to take to do them. So, earlier this past week, about a week ago, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do in the meantime? I can go out, tell a story, or find something that I know a lot about and just talk about it. But an idea came, like it normally does. And then normally the video starts channeling into my mind, and I get prepared, and then I do it with all the new confidence that I have. But when I had the idea about a week ago to do a video, throughout the day, I noticed a lot of fear and doubts in my thoughts that I didn't feel were mine. Not the new me, not what as much as I've overcome. And I'm like, what's this? Well, I can't. I'm like, am I going to do another video? I really had all these fears and doubts, and it lasted for days. And it was suggested to me by videos I watch that somebody could have been hacking into my subconscious, hacking into my consciousness, and trying to stop me from doing these. I entertained this, and I felt it through. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's it. But if somebody did try to do that, I definitely put the kibosh on it. I definitely put a stop to that. But this continued. I'm like, I guess it's just not time to make a video, I'll figure it out. I'll find out. And there's more to the week's story, and we'll get into this, but this continued on until today. I really didn't know what was going to happen. I went to work today. I was delivering this morning, driving. And I started to think. Well, I'm always, The thoughts started to come in of, hey, your allergies started about a week ago. These fear and doubts started about a week ago. And I'm like, well, if the new me doesn't have these fears and doubts, usually I get the video idea comes in, and I have I have the full faith and trust that it's supposed to be made, and I get the channel, and and I come and do it. There's been this process growing, this pattern growing of how videos come through that are the videos that I don't have to do research for. And I realized today the messages came through that, number one, the allergies and the fear and doubts coincided at the same time and throughout the week. I said, well, if the new me doesn't have these fears and doubts, everything was flowing pretty good. But the old me in the past, who's visiting me this week, he would have the fears and doubts that I used to have about these videos. And it clicked. So I said out loud while I was driving, "Hey, Eli, you're asleep right now, you're dreaming, you're visiting me now, in the future. We don't do this anymore. We don't have these fears and doubts about videos anymore. We have the full trust and faith when the ideas come and the channel comes, and we just do them. You know, we don't do this anymore. When you wake up, you can start working on this. You can actually improve my future, my now, by working on this, get a head start." And then everything went clear. Everything went clear after that. And then this video started channeling in. It was like the missing piece. I had to tell this story. I've talked about this before, but for those who haven't seen, my allergies, allergy flare-ups, and deja vus, they've always coincided at the same time when I am visiting myself in the future, when I go to sleep. Now, when I go to sleep now, recently, I hold a crystal in my hand all night, and things have been way more lucid. I am way more aware of all the realities I'm visiting, all the dreams I'm having, whatever you want to call it or consider them. And I take me now, my consciousness now with me, and I actually try to improve these visitations I'm having. And some of them are me in the future, and I don't know which ones will be. And it's still hard to remember it all the next day, but I'm very aware while it's happening. And usually I'm very aware of when my past self is visiting myself now. And somehow I missed it all week. But there were other things clouding my vision. Now, my intuition has gotten stronger, as I was told it would be during this time. My gifts are getting stronger. But there were other things coming in all week that I didn't understand. I kept having thoughts of death, flashes of funerals. I do have 2 uncles that were sick, and I heard they're doing okay. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. One night I was even in my kitchen where my 13-year-old Chihuahua Bella stayed, and I don't even get these telepathic questions or messages sometimes, but my mind answers them. I just answer them. And I'm in the kitchen, and I look at Bella, and I'm like, well, Bella's doing okay. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with her. But a couple days later, there was something wrong with her. I said, oh, okay. Okay. And I could tell it was the beginning of something. I didn't know how bad or how long. But after a few days, she got worse. And I don't want her to suffer. I'm not sure what happened. But now I know why I was getting all those messages with my newfound, stronger intuition. And I'm going to pay a lot more attention. I mean, I could only pay as much attention as I could this past week. But in the future, I want to master this. I want to understand. Okay, something's coming, you know. But I didn't see it coming. Maybe I did, and I ignored it because, you know. So yesterday, I left work early, and my wife and I took her to OSU. And we had her pass over because I didn't want her to suffer anymore. There really wasn't anything anyone could have done. I don't know what happened. I donated her body to the school for science. Maybe they can find out and let me know. But it really was just her time. She was 13. This is about the time I got her 13 years ago. And she got me through one of the toughest transitions that I've ever had to go through. From one life to another. $11 years ago. And then I met my wife. And Bella became part of our family. She was at her wedding with my wife's dog, Corona. And I just remember how much joy she brought me when I needed it. When I picked her up from an old farmhouse, the people I got her from, she was a few months old. When I carried her out to the car at the end of the driveway, her mom followed me all the way up to the car, barking at me. And I just imagined her letting me know, you take care of my baby. You better take care of my baby. And I did. I did. She was 13 years old this year. few months. And they put us in exam room 13 for those people who like numbers and the synchronicities. I know there's people out there who can relate. To Bella. So, it's been a rough week. I still wouldn't call it suffering. If anyone's thinking that. We've seen past pets in the house. And I know Bella was there. She's probably in there right now. She could be sitting right next to me. She's free. She's free to go wherever she pleases now. And we don't have to worry about her peeing everywhere. So, yeah. It's still tough to let people go even though they're not gone. What really hurts is it's difficult to hold the joy that I feel in a body. Because there's so much joy. I wouldn't even call it sad. I don't know what you call it. It's, you know. And if you haven't seen any of my videos, and this is all crazy stuff, I got another story for you. I don't need to prove to myself anymore that my dog's okay. Our family members that have passed are okay. And I got a lot of stories, and I don't remember what I've told, but I know I haven't told this one. So while I'm telling intimate stories, about the transformation of my consciousness. This new era of journey that came from casting the anxiety out October 2023 until now. In June of 2024, I don't remember the exact date. I can look it up. It's verifiable. It was when the moon was in Taurus in June 2024. I was doing meditations when the moon was in my sign. I didn't even know it at that time. I paid attention later. It was 3 days after I started a secret cure, an ancient Chinese secret. It's not just Chinese, it's just a joke. So the moon was in my sign. I wasn't aware of it at the time. And I did, my wife was sleeping. I sat next to her in the bed, did a meditation. If you watch The Magic Kingdom, I explained this process. And I meditated till I saw the flashing light coming in and out, going around. That's enough at that point. If you want to lay down, you can. And I did. And let go. When that electricity bunches up in the left hemisphere and it moves to the middle, you know, the Israelites up against the Red Sea, and they wait for it to part. God opens the entrance to Arabia. All the electricity goes into the right hemisphere of the brain. Now, before you go to no thought, sometimes, because sometimes they just go to no thought, but sometimes you have what people say Kundalini awakening, and I don't know if that's what this is. I think that's what this is. But this rush of light, electricity from elsewhere through your crown chakra rushes through your body. I did one night months later after this particular time where it did it 5 times in a row. This particular night, early June 2024, it did one time, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I went to no thought. Instead of waking up out of the no thought, I woke up in an out-of-body state, which I'm very familiar with. I've been doing it since I was, my earliest memories, 3 years old. I can just tell. I mean, I can't move my body, and I can see the room. Even though it's dark, it's not dark. The room sparkles. But this never happened before. Not that I remember. Being a little kid, I'm sure there's a lot of things that happened at night that I don't remember. But I don't know what this looks like in the video. It doesn't matter. Coming down like this. A beautiful, perfect forearm hand. Reached down. I'm looking up at it. And she wiggled her fingers. Now my arm, I'm laying, my arms, I can't move my body. I mean, it's anchored to the bed. In fact, I was laying on my arm when I woke up later. But my astral hand, my astral body, I was able to reach up. And I held her hand. And it was as physical as if someone was here and I held her. This bright, true, pale blue, I couldn't even describe it. And I just thought, is this real? This is real. So I caressed her hand to see if it was a dream or not. I knew it wasn't. And she caressed my hand back. And this went on a few times until I'm like, this is real. It felt like home. And that's the only way I can describe it. It felt like home. Telepathically, I thought, Grandma? I was shown a bright light profile of a woman's face that it was too quick. But what I heard was, Mother Goddess. I don't know what any of that means. That could have been me asking another question. I don't know. I've learned some things since then, but I'm still like, I don't. Right after that, just like I received the light pouring into me from the meditation, this blue electrical light was given to me, poured into my body. From this person. And I can't describe it. Something happened after that where I received some sort of a healing. It wasn't painful, but it was forceful, but it was like it had to be, and something was fixed. This part I'm not going to give details on. But about the point I couldn't bear anymore. She physically touched my body. And my hand was actually holding her forearm, slid up when her hand slid down. But she held my hand again and then went away. And just like any other out of body experience, it takes a little bit for you to get back in your body and the pins and needles and the feelings again. And I woke up. I mean, I wasn't asleep, but I was back in my body. It was very real. It was very real. And that's all I have to say about that at this time. So, I'm sure there was stuff I thought of earlier today, throughout the day, that I was going to say or add. I don't know. I am not going to be able to review this tonight. I don't think I can handle much more. I'm tired. I will post it. I'll watch it a few days from now. I mean, I'll want to at some point. I tell you these things, like the stories I told you before, because they involved this transformation I'm on. Realizing your gifts, your powers, they get stronger. You get more in tune, more in touch with things. Like realizing when you're visiting yourself in the future. Paying attention to, hey, this feels different. It must be an intuitive, your intuition coming in. I don't know. I don't know if I could say I could have been more prepared if I did this and I did what everyone else is doing. I don't know. This is what happened. So as these things happen, I deliver them, You get what you get, what I get, when I get it. But this whole week threw me off. I didn't even work on those other videos. It really... This isn't just like 3 or 5 of these. This is all day things coming in and out. I'm tired. Tired by the end of the day. And I wanted to know what's trying to stop me from making these videos. And it was me. From fucking who knows when. Months ago, a year ago, I don't know. And I'm going to pay a lot more attention to the answers I'm given, the answers I give to questions I didn't hear. Like, Bella's okay, she's doing fine. Well, she is now. And I don't believe that. I know that. For everyone else out there who misses somebody and misses a pet who is somebody. They are okay. I don't have anything else. Foot cramp. This is new to me every time I do one of these. It's new and it isn't, but I wouldn't want it any other way. If this stops being new, I'm done. You know, I don't care if the process is the same. It's always still a different process, even if it's like I could explain the process, but to me, it's a whole new experience every time. And this one was definitely different. This is its wakey time. Tales of transformation. And I wish everyone in the world knew how much they're loved. They don't even know it. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. We love you. And I'm speaking for the spiritual collective. And I'm not talking to the people that are in human bodies. I'm not talking about the people that are in human bodies right now. The people who are not in human bodies right now, that are countless, love you. All of you. There's no judgment. They've got you believing in this judgment and, I see a lot of hatred in posts that does not need to be there. There's people doing bad things. There are people doing bad things, yes. But we love you. And we'll deal with that at another time. Good night, good morning, good day to you, sir. Thank you for watching.